Hey everyone, it's Bobby. I am here today to share with you my newest design team creation for Country Craft Creations, and this one is using the Carta Farm to Table. This is just the most adorable paper, and I probably say that every time, but I swear these paper companies, they get better and better and better all the time. So this one is a 7x9 with a 2.5-inch spine. And I've just used some of the ephemera stickers and a doily die cut from my stash. Everything else is from the collection. And I cut the covers to make a tab. It's a 2.5-inch spine. Oops, I got ink on it. I'm going to have to fix that. I didn't realize I did that. And then we have the back is very plain. So on the inside, we have a little tuck spot here with 3 of the stickers and cut apart, or 4 stickers and cut aparts. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, wrong way. Make sure you can see it. So this just tucks under this little flower pot. It opens this way. And then these recipes were actually in the collection. This is one of the little stickers, and I used the beef stroganoff recipe and added farm kitchen to the bottom of it. And then when you open it up, you have the rest of the recipes that were on that. That's half of a sheet. It was a full sheet of recipes, and I have the other half in here as well. I just used some of the stickers and ephemera and cut aparts, and just cut strips of paper to fill it in. And then on this side you have a pocket with room for plenty of recipes, and those are just some pre-printed cards that I had. So these go back in here. It's the cutest little die cuts. So each page is cut like a file folder, has a tab, and I alternated them from top to bottom and then top to bottom again. So the first one has a graphic 45 envelope on the front with one of the cut aparts. And then I just added one of the stickers with a little button from my stash. And here's another one of the recipes, spicy pot roast. And I just left them blank on the back. The pockets are very roomy, and I haven't put anything in them. They're just for recipes as well. Then on the back of page 1, I just put a little pocket, folded the edge down, and then I made a cut apart with these ball jars that were in the collection. I made it a recipe card or whatever, not a cut apart. On page 2, trying to make sure I stay in frame here, page 2 has, this was a square of the pinkish beige, and I just used the other half of it to make a pocket over here, and added some of the little spice jars from one of the design papers, and then I made another recipe card here and added a little doily from my stash. And I don't have anything in any of the pockets, but there's plenty of room for all kinds of goodies in there. Then on page 3, I went with the vegetable paper in the green and yellow solid cardstock, and these came with my collection as well. And I just cut out 3 little pockets and added some of the stickers to them, and I created a little tag. And there's, this one is an open pocket as well. Then on the back side, I changed to the reds. I love this barn print, this wood grain. These are from the ephemera pack. And then I did another one of the recipes, savory corned meat pie. And then this is one of the pre-printed cards, and I just put one of the stickers on it that says our nest. And on the back side of that page is a belly band. Oops, it has to come out this way because I tied this on it. I just punched a hole in it with a crocodile and added one of the little ephemera. It says butter. Just added some twine and ribbon to it. And again, you've got room for all kinds of things up under here. And then on the back side of that one, I have one of the large cut aparts with the spice can of paprika. Another one of the pre-printed cards. These I just purchased locally, and they're readily available about everywhere, I think. And then on the inside of the back cover, instead of this one folding completely out like the front cover, I made a pocket out of it and added some more of the recipes in here. Brunswick stew and Swedish style hamburgers. And those go in the pocket. And then we have, these are from the sticker collection, and this silly goose is from the ephemera. Another little piece of twine and a button from my stash. And this was from the sheet that had the recipe on it. And in the pocket I have another one of the pre-printed cards. And then the last three of the recipes. Spicy short ribs, hamburger pie, and cowboy chili. They're just so cute. I'm telling you, these paper companies, they just get better and better every year. Just, they send such cute things to us. So that is my album. It was really a lot of fun to make. I have more fun each time I get a new album because the papers are just so adorable. So that is my project. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll share yours with us if you decide you want to make one. So have a great day, and stay tuned for the tutorial. If you decide to make one, there is a full tutorial following this walkthrough. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Alright guys, we are building this little folder. This is for the Carta collection, Farm to Table. And I have cut my chipboard, and this will be on your cutting guide. There's 7 1/4 by 9. Now this is going to be the front piece, and I cut it to look like a file folder, and the bottom piece will be like this, and then when it's put together it will look like a file folder. So I will show you how I put this one together. I cut my cardstock 11 long, and I cut it just a little bit wider than 8 1/4, so that I'd have an inch over here, because this is 7 1/4. And then I took a marker and I colored down the edge to cover up, because it's going to be too hard to wrap this curve. At least I thought it would be, and I didn't want a lot of bulk in there, so I just went over it with a marker, a dark Copic brown marker, and then I cut it out with my craft knife. Now how I got to that is, I'll show you. Let me grab a piece of scrap chipboard, piece of lightweight here. Here's a piece. I think this is light enough. No, that's not light enough. Look, need a piece of lightweight here. There we go. If you put it in your envelope punch board, and put the left edge right against this straight line where it shows you the bow guide, just put it right on that line and punch it, and then move this down to the 3-inch line and punch again. Oh goodness, didn't want to punch. Not as strong as I thought. There we go. That'll give you the 3-inch tab. Then just lay this on your chipboard and trace it, and then cut it. I cut it with a knife, and when I got to this part I put it in the paper trimmer and cut it. But you can do it with a knife. Once I added it to the brown cardstock. That's how I did the chipboard, but once I added the cardstock to it with the score tape sheets, I cut it with a knife. Let me trim this up here a little bit. bit from this side. Got some overhang there. I haven't trimmed this one out yet, so I need to trim my edges here a little bit. Take my corners out. And all of these are attached with the score tape sheet that Tammy sells. I love those things. They make an album cover so easy. I just ordered a bunch of them today. I can't stand to run out of those. So we're going to trim these out so we don't have any bulk and overhang in there. Nice square corners. There we go. Get rid of all this trash here. And we'll just glue it down like we normally do. I like the art glitter glue, but you can use whatever you like. If you like something else better, that's fine. Didn't really make any difference. Just put a little extra glue in there. I do like to use the score tape to cover the album because it grabs so fast. And while you're waiting on the glue to dry, you don't have to worry because that score tape keeps it where you want it. A little glue in here. Looks like I got a little close right there. I'm going to put a little dab of ink there just in case. Just in case. Don't want that chipboard showing through. Should have really nice edges now. So that will be the back cover and the front cover. Just like that, and it'll look like a file folder. But I have to add a strip of brown in here and here so that when I put my design paper on, it'll be right. Now, for the spine, I want to wrap this on the outside this time, like this. And I want to make sure, see, I can trim some more off of there. I wasn't sure if I should or not. So I'm going to take some more off of there. Let's trim this one up here. And I have added a 1/4 inch strip of score tape on each side of my spine. My spine is 2.5, and this is cut at 5.5 by 11. But you'll find that on your score guide, on your cutting list. So let's see. This is going to lay like this, and this will wrap over, and we should be good. Okay, so let's attach these. Oops, I just sprinkled glue on me. Okay. Now, this is going to attach just outside of the 1/4 inch. See, that's the thing. I might have cut too much off. Oh, bummer. Maybe I don't need a hole. I hope it's okay. I haven't done it this way before. Maybe I should put this on the inside, see if it looks better on the inside. Honestly, since I cut it that way, I'm thinking it's going to look better on the inside. But either way is okay. It'll be fine. Okay, so let's just put the spine on the inside. So I like to put it up at the top. Add my glue. Oops, I keep sprinkling glue everywhere. Okay, and lay it right up to your score line, just like that. Oops. Shift it a little bit. Okay, let's turn it over and burnish it. Guess I won't need the 1/2 inch score tape now, huh? Make sure these are nice and straight. Okay, now I'm going to turn my board. So I've got the long side, because I want to turn it around this way so that I can put the other one in. Oops, upside down, like this, and add my glue. I know I'm quite liberal with the glue, but it wouldn't do to have it pop up on me. I wouldn't like that at all. Okay, so your tab's down here, this time your tab's up here. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Let me scoot this down some more so I can get this straight. Okay, let's flip her over and burnish this side. Now we've got an album cover. Got to let it dry. Isn't that gorgeous though? I love the way these look. Okay, I'm going to lay it back out flat and let it set up for a little bit. Can't burnish it too much. Okay, now we need to cover this center. I haven't put my score tape on it yet, I'll have to do that. But I have cut this 5.5 wide by 8 7/8 tall, and I'll add score tape to it and place it right here in the center so that our spine is covered. And I'll be back in just a second as soon as I get my score tape out. Alright, let's put this piece down in the center. Just put a piece of score tape sheet on it. It was a little bit short of what I needed, so I just added a little 1/4 inch strip down at the bottom. Come on, fingernails. I need that little tool my grandson took away from me. And he didn't even know what he did with it now. Alright, make sure I don't have any adhesive hanging over the edges. So I want this, I'm going to have to pull it towards me a little bit. So I can get it on there straight. I can turn my cutting board back around now. Like it's supposed to be. Alright. Get this stuck down good. And kind of help our folds along. And this one. Got that 1/4 inch in there, that'll help it grab. Okay, let's see what we're looking like. That glue's not holding. Goodness gracious. My glue's not wanting to stay. I may have to put score tape in there. This one side's wanting to pull apart. I don't understand that. Huh. It's really strange, and I let it sit for a long time too. Okay. Yes, I'm very unhappy with that right now. I might have to put some weight on it. I'll work on it, but I'll make it work. Okay, so on the inside, we need score tape and the brown cardstock along the edge. Now I can see I've got a little bit on the edge there. And I don't care about the long edges because one of them is going to be trimmed off and the other one is going to be covered by design paper. So as long as it covers this tab and goes top to bottom, then we're good. Look, don't grab yet. Stop it. There we go. And the other one. And then I'll trim them off with a knife. It just really sticks to you. Okay, I'm just going to guide it here. And if it's good at the bottom, it should be good at the top. A little of the score tape showing there, but like I said, it'll be covered by design paper. Okay, so let's trim these. So all you need is your knife. And just use several, you might have to go over it several times with a light touch rather than one pass real strong so that you don't tear anything. Because you're going through the score tape too. Okay, now curve around here and straight down to the end and another curve. Not quite through yet. Some glue belts up on there. I need to put a new blade in it, I think. There we go. Trim that one out. Do the other side. There we go. Okay, and there's our cover. Looks like a file folder. I like that. Alright. So, next thing to do is to pick out the paper we want in here and then add our hinge. And I will put a link in the description box in case you've not made a hinge, showing you how these are done. This one is scored every ½ inch, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 page hinges with a ½ inch spacer in between. And all you will do is apply glue in each one of these channels, press it together, and then we'll have our hinge. Okay, I've got a lot more cutting to do, so I'll be back. Alright, let's make our pocket pages. Let me move this out of the way and make sure I'm in frame where you can see. Looks pretty good. Okay, on a 12 by 12 sheet, you can get the front and the back of your pocket page out of one 12 by 12 sheet. See, this is 12 by 12. So you're going to cut your 12 by 12 off at 6.5. Okay? Then on the piece that is 6.5 by 12, you're going to turn it and cut it at 8 3/4. Then this piece is 5.5. It's what is left. So you're going to turn it and cut it at 9 3/4. On this piece, you're going to score 3 edges, both short and one long. And then you're going to, well, you don't really, I mitered this one and you don't need to do that. Just leave it straight, but mine will be covered with design paper, so it's not going to show. Then you'll take your punch board. Where's my punch board? Right here. And once you've scored it and burnished it, turn these flaps under, and you're going to lay it right where this line is for the bow guide. You're going to put it right on that guide and punch it. Then you'll turn it over and do the same thing here. Put it right on that bow line and punch it. That gives you the file folder corner. Now on your front, the back piece, you're going to put this on the bow line, the left hand side on the bow line, punch it, then move it down to 3 inches and punch again. And then you'll put it in your paper cutter and just cut this out. Once you have that cut off, then this corner or this edge needs to go in the bow line and be punched again. That will give you your file folder pocket. And they'll go together like this. Now I'm going to use art glitter glue to put mine together. You can use score tape if that's what you prefer. I don't, because of the humidity in the area where I live. After, I don't know how much time, but I know it's happened more than once. Things that I've made have come apart because the score tape after time starts to separate and it'll just pull apart. Now, I have a granddaughter in Indiana that I made an album for several years ago, and it's very humid in Indiana too. And she called me and told me that her graduation book was coming apart and I had to remake her another one. So it was the score tape. The pages just started pulling apart. So we're just going to match up our bottom and sides and glue these two edges down together. And I got glue all over me, but I'm good at that. And put your bone folder in here and make sure that you don't glue it shut. And that is all there is to a pocket page. Now we'll do another one more time. This one I did backwards. I actually scored this one and just cut it off at the top. It doesn't make any difference which way, but I like it better the other way. But you still get the same end result. Now once you've scored these, you can turn them up or down, either one. That way you can have your notch at the top and some at the bottom. Put this one down here. Make sure I've got it lined up right on the edge. And this one. And it's lined up at the bottom. Make sure I didn't get glue where I don't want it. Okay, so there's 2 pocket pages. These are both on the left hand side. Now I reversed it for the next 2. Instead of folding these up, I folded them the other way, so I would have 2 at the bottom, so I can kind of alternate them. Thought that would give more interest to the album if they weren't all lined up like little soldiers. So there's that one. Let's match it up here. Got one more to go. got a little edge here I need to trim, clean up where I trimmed that off. One more to go. So see, we got, I can alternate them, top, bottom, top, bottom. And it'll be like that. One more. And I can see this one needs to be trimmed off too. Just a little. Lovely. Okay, so there's my 4 pocket pages. Okay, so let's set those aside. Those have to be decorated, of course. And on the hinge was 5.5 by, I think, 8.5. Yes, 8.5. And it's scored at every 1/2 inch, and you're just going to waffle fold it. The first 2 become a hinge, the last 2 become a hinge. So let's glue those 2 together. And we're just going to fold that over. Push that down really good. And we'll catch the last one. And fold that in. A little glue there. Alright, now for these 2, we're going to add glue inside this little valley. And fold it over. And make sure you keep your edges lined up. Otherwise it won't sit flat when you put it in your album. And one more to go. Let's fold this back now that we've glued it together and burnish it from underneath. And this is the last one. Over, burnish it real good. These really aren't hard. If you'd seen the first one I made, though, oh boy, that was many years ago. It wasn't awesome. But you know, we all live and learn. Okay, now let's fold it back on itself and burnish it from the back side. Now we will have 4 hinges sticking up. These are the 2 center ones, and these are the 2 end ones. So I like to work in both directions. Burnish them really well. And bring back, and that loosens them up so that when you add your pages, and you want to turn your pages back and forth, these will be a lot more limber, not so stiff. Okay, so there's your 4 pages, or 4 hinges. And see how flat it is on the back? That's what you need. My first one wasn't flat on the back. It was not a pretty sight. Then your pages will sit right over it. Like that. Ta-da! Okay, so there's that. Now, inside the covers, I want to show you what I am doing. I'm not going to glue it down right now because I want to put my design paper on first. But from one 12 by 12 sheet, so you're going to get 1 page out of each sheet, so that's 4 pages for the pockets. You'll need 2.5 sheets for the cover, and then to wrap the cover, and then you'll need a sheet for inside the front cover and inside the back cover. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 9 sheets so far. Okay, this is your 12 by 12 piece. So, you're going to put it in the scoreboard, and you're going to cut it at, I think 9 7/8. Or you're going to cut off 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches off of one side. Then that piece gets cut down to 9 7/8. And you're going to score both short ends and the long end at 1/2. Then on the remaining piece, you're going to cut it at 9 1/8 by 8 7/8. You will turn it to the 9 1/8 at the top, and you will score it at 4 1/4. Then you turn it completely around either way and score it at 1/2 inch. So that when we attach this to the book, let me grab the book. Oop. Throwing stuff on the floor here. I want to throw my cardstock away, goodness gracious. This will attach to the inside cover. This will tuck under. The 1/2 inch is going to attach just inside this tab, like that. And then this little pocket will go here. So you can see why I'm not putting it down yet. I want my design paper under there first. And there will be an embellishment attached here that will tuck under this pocket and hold it closed. Then once I cut design paper and decide what I want for the spine, the spine, then I can put my hinge in place. Okay? So that's where I'm at. Alright, I am going to pick out some design paper because I can't go any farther until I figure out what I want for the inside covers. So I'm going to pick that out and I'll be back. Okay, let's finish decorating, or at least putting the pattern paper on these folders. Now here's the first one I've done, and I just wanted to share with you how I did the edges. If you have a little, here, wait a minute, let me grab a emery board here. If you have a little edge like I have right here where it looks kind of sharp, just take an emery board and just round over it carefully, and it'll smooth it right out so that you have the perfect edge. I use these all the time. So I wanted to share with you how to do these. They're really easy, nothing earth-shattering at all. Now you might want to cut your papers a different size if you want a larger border than I do. I cut mine at 5 3/8 by just a hair over 8 1/2. Just barely over, and that way it gives me a small I like a small margin, but if you want more room, then you can cut it shorter than that. Okay, where's my little punch board? Oh, here it is. On this larger piece, these are the edges that face the top. You just want to put it into the bow line and punch it. And this one the same way. And then once you ink your edges, it will be a perfect match with just a nice narrow margin. Now see, here's what I'm talking about. See how it left that little sharp edge? Just barely touch it up and it takes it right off. Okay, for the part that goes inside the flap, you only need to punch one side, just this side. This one needs to stay straight. So we'll do the same thing with that one. We'll put it in to the bow line. Punch it one time. And I cut this the same length, just a hair over 8.5. Then it will slide in your pocket and leave you a very small margin. So that will take care of that portion. So that will do that. And then on this piece, this is just a piece of scrap, and I'm going to use that for my tab. So back with a punch again. So I am going to put it in just right at the bow line. Punch it. Now remember, on these we moved it down to the 3, so you want to pull it back just a little bit from 3 so it's a little bit smaller. Let's see if I've got it right. Yep, that'll be perfect. So I want to cut it off just at the top of this. So I will put it in my paper trimmer. And this one has a wire in it where you can see where it's going to cut. Let me look at it again. Okay, so I can gauge where I want to cut it at. I want it to cut between these two white lines, is what I'm thinking. And I want to make sure it's going to cut straight. That's too much. That looks pretty straight. I'm going to cut it off. Let's see how it looks. Okay. I don't know why sometimes it leaves that little, and I just want to curve this a little bit. Maybe I'll just blend it a little bit. I don't want it to be quite so pointed on the end. So there, that takes care of that. I still need to, there we go. So that's how you arrive at that. And then I'll ink them and glue them down. And this is my third set. This will be the front, this will be the inside piece, and this will be the tab. And my fourth one will be this one. Will be these three. So I will finish that off screen. I just wanted to show you how I arrived at that, so that if you do make this along with me, then you'll have a better, a better understanding of what I'm doing. And I wanted to show you the inside of the album. I have put my base papers on the front and the spine only, because some of my pages, some of the papers I'm getting a little bit shy on, and I was worried I'd accidentally use these up and then not have what I wanted for the front. So I went ahead and put these down with one of the sticker pieces on the dark brown cardstock. And this is how I embellished the front inside cover. Now this little embellishment tucks under this little planter to hold it shut. So, and I have three of the little, actually four. These three are stickers that I just put on brown cardstock. This is a piece of the ephemera. So we untuck this. It opens like this. And this is the pocket we created. I put the delicious sticker there. And then you have one sheet that is all got recipes on it. No, I've still got the other one. Oh, here's the other one. I cut it down the center here, and then I took this top piece off and I separated each of the recipes. This is for the inside front cover, and this is for the back cover. So this is how I did the, let me see, I want to make sure I'm in frame where you can see it all. You should be able to. This opens out. This is the beef stroganoff. I added the little chicken and the farm kitchen word. Then it opens out like this, and here's all the recipes from that front section. And then there's room here to put your own recipes. So it closes back like this, tucks up under here. I need to ink this one and put a piece of ribbon on it. And I just cut these out of one of the design paper sheets. On this side, what I intend to do, haven't finished it yet, I've just started it, but what I'm going to do, this is all the recipes from the second half of that sheet. What I want to do with this side is I'm going to measure over, I will show you, I want it to be not exactly like the other one. So I'm going to measure over, let's see, about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25. 1.25 from the fold. And I think 3 up from the bottom. Make a little mark. And then you can draw yourself a line, or however you want to do it. Oops. And I'm going to cut that off and glue it down here and here to make a pocket. And actually, you know, when I look at it, I think I want it to be smaller. I do. I think 1 inch is plenty. So I'm going to move it to 1 inch. And I will draw me another line. Okay, and I will cut it off at that point. And then I will mat each one of these individually and put them in the pocket. That way she can put pictures on the back side if she wants, or journal, she or whoever I don't know who's going to get this one, but that is my game plan for this one. Okay, this will be actually all you will see for the tutorial. Once you get your pages done, where's my other one? They will sit up on your hinge just like this. You will add glue to the front and back of your hinge. Actually, let me start back here. You will add glue to the front, both sides of your hinge, and then put it on the hinge and get it centered as best you can. Don't push it all the way down to the score line, otherwise it won't lay flat when you get it in your book. But you want to make sure that it's even from top to bottom, like that, and you'll glue it into place. And then the second one the same way. What I like to do is make sure that the papers I have on the first one will relate back to this one. So what I will do for my first page, the one I will use for my first page will be this one, because it relates back to this page. And then when I turn it over, whatever is on page 2, let me show you. Okay. This would be like page 1. When I turn it over, say this is page 2. Lay down. If this was to be my page 2, then I want whatever I put here to relate to this page, so there's a continuity of flow. To me, it looks more eye-pleasing, but I mean, it's your book. You can do it however you want to. Probably everybody doesn't feel that way, but I just like it that way. So that's my game plan. The next thing you will see will be the final tutorial. Or not the final tutorial, the final walkthrough. And that'll give you an opportunity to see the full finished thing. And then you can decide if it's something that you would like to make. And if you do, I hope you will share pictures of your finished project with us and let us all enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you back with a finished project. Bye. Hey y'all, I'm back one more time and decided to give you one additional update. I just wanted to make sure that when you go to put yours together, if you want to do it like mine, that you have an understanding of just how I got where I got. So, like I told you before, I like my pages to relate to each other. So because this one's got chickens, page 1 will be like this. And so you can see where the turquoise carries over and the red chickens carry over, that type of thing. So let me get this out of the way. What I did was I used the graphic 45 die and made a little pocket, and I just took one of the tags out of the collection and matted it with brown and added some of Tamara's seam binding on there. This is from the stickers, and I just had this little button in my stash and I tied a little bow, and then I used the paper in one of the recipes to make a little tag, and I just glued it on these two sides. And then you've got your pocket in here for recipes and what have you. So, whoops, score tape sticking to my sleeve. When you turn it over, this will be the back side of page 1, and then you've got, let me find a piece of scrap here. You've got a pocket in here to put recipes, and if you wanted, you could tuck something under there or under there. I probably won't. I'll just use the pocket as is. And then on the right side of that page, I took the triangle that was left from here and used it over here. All I did here was take a scrap of brown cardstock and I folded it down just to where it looked good to me, and then I added some of the design paper under it. I put the pink on top, and I just cut my square, and then I cut it corner to corner, and I used the other portion over here. And I just took another scrap, scored two sides at a half, glued this on here, the pink, and then I cut my angle. This is a piece of the design paper, and then I've got two of the little, actually it's the back side of one of the pages. I cut these out, and I had this little doily in my stash. Now, on the back side of that page, here's what I'm doing. I'm making little pockets, and I wanted to show you how to make the pockets. In case you want to do yours this way, you may not want to, and that's okay. But let me get another, where's mine? Oh, here's the one I'm working on. Let me show you this one. I cut one in orange, and I put 2 strips of the green seam binding, just with score tape. And then I'm going to run this ribbon that she sent with it, handmade with love, so that the heart shows on this side. And I'm going to run that around there, so let me add some more score tape. I wanted some type of pocket or insert on the back side of each one of these pages, but I didn't want them all to be exactly alike. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. So a piece of score tape there. Let me trim that off, that's up too high. And we can get rid of these little taggies. And put a piece on the other side. Get it down farther this time. That's down far enough, and I'll trim these off. Burnish this score tape here with my finger. Now I've used the 3/8 or the 1/2 inch, so I'm going to have to make sure I roll that back. Because it does kind of hang over a little bit. And I don't want to glue my pocket shut. Nope, I got caught on the tape. Goodness. I want to do that. There we go. Get it off my scissors in a sec. Okay, now I want to position this so the little heart shows. Not like that. I thought that'd be really cute on there, something different. Now I've got glue on my scissors. I wasn't too smart. Okay, now I can add my, here's my page. Oops. And I can add this down to my page, and then I can put little recipes or tags or whatever in there. I just thought it'd be cute, something different. Not your typical pocket. Make sure I've got this glue spread out. I want my corners to stick. Ugh. Don't want glue on my fingers. Okay, now I want to put this right here. Maybe up a little bit. About like that. Turn under there, turkey. Oop, that looks crooked. There we go. Aside and put something heavy on it to hold it down until the glue dries. Let me grab another scrap of brown here and I'll show you. Well, I think I've got a piece for the yellow one. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is big enough for the yellow one. What I want to do is ink the edges. My vintage photo is drying up. I need to get another one because I don't have a re-inker, so I think I'll just buy a new stamp pad next time I go to town. Okay, now some glue. This one is more straight across the top, so I'm going to move it up a little bit. I want to leave myself at least a 1/2 inch margin around the edges. I hope this got the glue off. It didn't. It's on the edge a little bit, but I think I'll be okay. And I'm just going to trim this off at the top. And leave myself about a 1/2 inch margin. I'm just going to eyeball it. That one's a little bit short. Okay, got enough scraps going here. Now I tried lining it up on my scoreboard and I could not figure it out, so what I'm going to do is just roll the edges till it looks like I want it to. I don't want a large margin, and I'm just going to pinch it along the edges to leave myself a little bit of brown, like that.
Wow, that has really changed in here.
I'm recording, babe. Yeah, I'm recording. Yes, it's better, isn't it? Okay, and then we're going to do this side. Just kind of roll it along. Like that. Trim off your little edge here. Now, do the same thing with your points at the bottom. And this one's not cooperating. They don't always. But I'll get it. Perseverance. There's that. It's a little bit wide right there. Push it back a little bit more. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I think you can. I have to keep looking at my camera. I don't have a remote where I can see what you see. Just have to keep working with it. This is up a little too high. It's a little bit better. Okay, now you can go to your corners and cut this out. And this one the same. Just cut it to the point, kind of where you see your folds. And that should make your little pocket, just like that. This is a little bit deeper than I want there. A little bit better. And that'll make your pocket, and then you can decorate it however you want to. I thought I might put a double pocket over here, a green and a yellow, like that. I think it's a real cute idea. It's just something different, but I wanted to share that with you. And then I have the back side of this I did in red. This is the last page. And I did it that this goes here. I did the other page. Oh, that's not the last page. Where's the other one at? I lost a page. So the one I had, oh, it's the one I had with green on it that I laid over here. Okay, it's down good anyway. So it will be this way, then this way, then this one with the double pockets on this side. Then this will turn over to this, and then this will match this, and I haven't got there yet. That's my plan. Alright, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Next time you see me, we'll be finishing up, or we'll be doing the walkthrough of the final project, and you'll see everything that I've added on there, but I just wanted to show you mostly about the pocket this time. Alright, thanks guys, and I will see you back with the finished project. Bye. Whoops, I moved my camera. There we go. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show you. I'm the queen of one more thing. On this, when you glue it down on the second pocket, it is going to need more dimension on this half because it's stacked on top of that one. So what I am doing to keep it from collapsing down and looking silly, I have cut me some 3/8 inch strips, and I'm just gluing them to the back side. You can see I have them here, and I have a little bit here. And I am going to cut me a piece for this right here, and I'm just going to miter the edges to get rid of that bulk. And glue it, excuse me, glue it right to that fold under part, and I don't want it to show from the edges. The reason I'm doing this instead of the dimensional tape is because the dimensional tape is white, and I don't want it to show. If you want to use the dimensional tape, you sure can, but I would take a marker and color along the color along the edges of it where it's going to show. Let's see if that's short enough. Yes, that'll work. So I can glue this down to that. right there, and just keep it just inside the edge. And I do want to trim this edge a little bit right there. And I got a little glue under there I don't want. Don't want to glue my pocket shut. Okay, now we're ready to glue it back down. And then you can embellish these however you want. Stickers or ephemera or whatever. Where this frogs come from. My throat is just all of a sudden. This is right here is where I want that to be. Just like that. I want it to be close enough to the edge so it's kind of like that one. Okay, and then let me get one of my tiles to weigh it down till it dries, till the glue sets up, and then I'm ready to put that one, or embellish in. Okay, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to show you that you needed to put those strips behind it so that yours won't go along and then crash. Alright,